Former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmar has bought the Clippers for a cool $2 billion. If you don't think that's a lot of money, Steve, a little trivia. Do you know what the highest purchase price for an NBA team was before this deal?
Was it $550 million?
Oh, you looked at the notes. $550 million for the Bucks. For the Bucks. So this is almost 4 times what the highest previous deal was. This is obviously because of the whole Donald Sterling fallout. I don't think the ink has dried on this thing yet, but it looks like it's going to happen. $2 billion. This seems a bit excessive. Apparently, the other highest deal was 1.6, which I always think is funny when they make these deals, and they're off by $400 million. But somehow they still, they were we got the $2 billion. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean these numbers are astronomical, and 1.6 versus 2.2. What was it? 2.2. 2.
Yeah.
2. Okay. 1.6 versus 2. So they sound close, but it's actually $400 million apart.
Right, which the previous highest sale was $550 million. So the difference in the two prices was almost the highest price ever.
These are insane numbers. So the Dodgers sold for like a little bit over $2 billion.
Yeah, which is the highest previous in all of sports.
But that included this, everything, the stadium and the parking lot and all the land around it, which is going to be developed and be worth a lot of money.
Right.
This is not for anything else but the Clippers and their training facility in Playa Vista, which I've been to, which is a fine gym, but it's nothing like the Staples Center. I mean, you can't have an audience there. So this is an incredible number, and I think this is an instance of one of the biggest wins all around in the history of sports. Everyone's a winner here.
Everyone's even Donald Sterling in a deranged way.
So Donald Sterling, who bought the team for a reported $12 or $15 million, is going to make basically a $2 billion profit.
Yeah.
Okay, of that, he's going to pay like $680 million in capital gains taxes, so that benefits the community.
Right. So not that anyone cares about what's happening to Donald Sterling, but because of this forced deal, he is getting screwed on the capital gains. Not that anyone's given him any sympathy, but that was one of the reasons that he was fighting the sale, as opposed to letting it be handed down to his heirs. Blah blah blah. I mean,
whatever.
I have a lot of pity for him.
So the community wins.
Yeah.
Okay, with this huge surplus. The community also wins by having a better owner. Okay. The other winner is the NBA. I mean, Adam Silver looks like a tough guy who made the right decision that led to the right result. So the NBA wins. The players win because the players complained about this racist owner and they got what they wanted. So they win, right? And the Sterlings win because they're getting $2 billion. Yeah, you got to pay some tax on that, but whatever. You're still left with over $1 billion in profit.
Yeah.
$1 billion left over. After it clears all taxes and other fees and expenses, you got $1 billion. That's a clear win. And it's good for the NBA, it's good for the sponsors, it's good for the networks, everyone is happy. And Steve Ballmar is a winner because he's got $20 billion.
Right.
So he spends 2 of it on, fulfilling his fantasy of having an awesome basketball franchise.
I mean, think how sick
everyone's a winner.
Think how sick that is. This guy's worth $20 billion already, Steve Ballmar. By the way, if you don't know Steve Ballmar, you gotta go on YouTube when you're done watching this and just put his name in the search bar. The guy is nuts. I mean, he is one of these. He tries to be like an inspirational speaker, and he's like a character. Have you seen any of these videos of him screaming and dancing and acting? I mean, the guy's a nut job. But that's another reason why I think this is going to be good for the NBA, because Mark Cuban has really stepped back from being the loudmouth that he once was. We don't have the Maloofs that were out there. I think it's good for the league when there are owners that are sort of bigger than their teams in a way.
Yeah.
It makes it fun. It makes it kind of WWF.
Ballmar also, I forgot how long ago it was, but he made the bid to buy the Kings.
Yeah.
And tried to move them to Seattle. That was part of the plan, and that fell through. But supposedly this guy's a huge basketball fan. And there was a great point made on, I think it was the Dan Patrick show this morning, but they said this $2 billion deal, it's a huge amount of money, right? But for these billionaires, it's a toy. It's something they can go out and just do for fun. It's such an insane amount of money, but this is what he wants. And I guess if you have $2 billion, if you had $2 billion on hand, is the first thing you do buy the Clippers if you could?
I mean, if I had $20 billion and a team cost $2 billion, I'd probably buy a basketball team.
I'd do it. I mean, what are you going to do with $20 billion?
Yeah.
There's no way you can possibly spend that money. The only way to spend it is to buy something awesome and big. Well, what can you buy? I mean, the greatest house on earth will cost $150 million.
Right, you could buy an island. I mean,
Yeah.
but you'd still have plenty of money left.
Yeah, but you don't want an island. It's a pain in the ass, you know. But you buy a
I mean, I'd take an
franchise. You know, you buy a sports franchise. Right. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, like I said, biggest win in sports history.